The engines all working there were busy as actual hell. While Toby and Mavis were resting, Toby had an idea. "Mavis," he smirked, "my driver has some dash cams he's hidden around the island to spy on the engines. Do you want to spy on anyone?" "Yes, please," said Mavis. "Can we spy on the Skarloey Railway? I want to know if Duke's there." "He is," said Toby. Driver set the camera to Skarloey Railway. Toby's driver did just that, and the cameras were all set. At the Skarloey Railway, the engines were just waking up when Duke pulled in. "Good morning, Grandpuff," said Peter Sam. "How are you?" "Couldn't be better. Couldn't be better," said Duke happily. "How are you two scallywags?" "We're good, Grandpuff," said Sir Handel. "But we have a question. What happened to Smudger after the Mid-Sodor Railway closed?" Duke was in the mood for a joke, so he said, "Oh, my dear grandsons and former sex slaves, after Smudger was turned into General Secretary of the Soviet Union." And he still laughs behind the engine shed, and legend has it that he's still laughing over the hills, and you can hear the faraway call of... Now let's get to work, and Duke puffed away. Unfortunately for Duke and the little engines, I was in a tower with my partner, Mike, while we were spying on the engines as well. Mike had told the story to Duke, and I didn't tell him, to tell the little engines. "You imbecile!" I yelled. "You brainwashed the engines into believing that bullshit! You know that's not what happened to Smudger!" "You're right," said Mike. "The manager of the Mid-Sodor Railway had Smudger made into a generator so he wouldn't have to hear that stupid fucking laugh anymore. He didn't give two shits about all the accidents Smudger caused. He was already going bankrupt. I wanted to strangle Ike, because I was looking fresh with my new robot outfit, when suddenly, over the hills we heard the faraway calls of... "It's Smudger!" gasped Mike. "He's still on this island!" "And," I said, "I'll go order a rescue search for him." Before long, me and several workmen scrambled into the smelter's yard on the other side of the island where Smudger was waiting. Now, in case you haven't guessed my headcanon for the Mid-Sodor Railway and Smudger, after Duke told the story, it led to Smudger getting removed before the event started controversy. "If we bring you back to where Duke is now," asked Mike, "Ike, will you help us run a drug empire on the main line for money?" asked Mike. "Yes, I will," said Smudger. It was dark when they brought proper resources to rescue Smudger. He was too unclean and hellish to be seen by any of the engines. Then they all set off to Smudger's new home. He laughed all the way. Duke and the engines were waking up again when suddenly, in came the load. "Oh, you've got to be fucking me," moaned Duke. "Not that awful American show-off," added Sir Handel. Oh, regardless of the unwelcome aboard bullshit he received from the engines, Smudger opened a drug empire in a shipping yard near a big city, where he tricked Splatter and Dodge into being his assistants, along with the Horde lorries and Butch to pull him along on a trailer. Things got interesting after that. Smudger's empire took off as he ended up selling a variety of drugs, many different types of alcohol, cocaine, weed, you name it. Smudger was making bank from all the people and engines buying his drugs. Until one day, Splatter and Dodge came in with terrible news. "So boss," said Splatter, some bad crashes have been occurring due to people having way too much of your drugs, and that's somehow your fault." Yeah, continued Dodge. "Percy collided with Gordon's Express after downing a whole bottle of Jack Daniels, and Oliver snorted way too much booger sugar, and he pulled this stunt." Oliver was speeding through the toll booth with the jet engine attached and a tar and fuel tanker. But when he reached the branch line cutting, he heard a cracking sound from the jet engine. "No," he yelled, "I'm gonna explode!" And the jet engine fucking blew up like a gender reveal party as he sped all the way to Gordon's Hill. That night on the news, Henry gave a special news report. We interrupt this program to bring you tragic news about Smudger's drug empire. So after several crashes occurred, his drug empire was unfortunately shut down. Duke, can you please explain to us what happened with Smudger's drug empire that led to its inevitable closure? I warned him to not be a reckless imbecile, but Smudger just laughed. Until one day, the cops came to his empire. Smudger stopped laughing then. "Why? What did they do?" asked Percy innocently. "They turned him into a smoking pipe," said Duke. "He's still there on that shelf of cigars. He'll never move again." "Yes," said Edward from Wellsworth Station, who was also on the news seeing what happened. "That's what happened to Smudger the generator engine, unfortunately. But don't worry, Ari, for any of you Karens who might think our world is dystopian and dark, Smudger will come back in some way, and we engines will deal with him. Because this is a society, and society says these are the rules we are comfortable with, and you have to follow them. And if you push against those rules, then society is going to push back. That's just how life works. Anyway, see you all in the next episode of Thomas the Tank Cannon and Idiots."